Hi guys, it's Hazel here from the New House Family blog. Today I wanted to talk to you about using disposable versus reusable menstrual products. So many women in the world, and most of them menstruate. We're mostly used to using tampons and pads. They are widely available in every supermarket, every corner shop. You will find them on every street in the world, or at least in the UK. And I want to talk to you about why these shouldn't really be found in our drawers, why they shouldn't be found in the supermarket, and most importantly, why they shouldn't be found in our bodies. So we have two main options for you to talk about today, and that's cloth pads and the moon cup. Both of them are very popular, gaining in popularity very quickly as women are starting to realise why they shouldn't be using disposable products, and they're also finding their way onto our high street quite rapidly as well, but we will cover that in a moment. So, cloth pads. For those of you who have never seen a cloth pad, this is one. They're soft, they're fluffy, and they're made of natural materials. Some have been bleached. You can get ones that are made from unbleached cotton. They are just as absorbent as a disposable. There's lots of benefits to using these, more than just saving money and saving the planet, so to speak. Less of these will end up in landfill, and they also don't cost you as much in the long run because obviously they're washable. They're very soft, they're very squishy, they take up no space. Bung them in the washing machine and they're ready to go again. These ones are made by a company called Cheeky Mama, who are a fantastic company. If you've got any questions about them, simply ping them an email and they'll get back to you. They don't contain any chemicals. Nothing that's going to upset your body. Also, the pros and cons of one of these. This is a disposable pad. First of all, those of you who might be a bit shy when you're on your period going into the bathroom, a public bathroom, and people hear this noise. With this, no noise, no one will know you have one. So let's talk about this one first of all. It smells really chemically. I've also noticed recently that more and more pads, disposable pads, are putting chemicals, fragrances into them. Walking down the sanitary items aisle in the supermarket, I am smelling such strong fragrances coming from the packets. Now these are pads that are in a wrapper and then in a plastic bag, and the smell is still hitting my face as I walk down the aisles. As you can see, they're bleached. They've got weird crystals in them that supposedly absorb 10 times more than you'll ever need, or whatever they claim. Why on earth you would need to hold that much blood before you change your pad is just minging. I'll never know. You've also got, this goes in the bin. This goes in the bin. And when you finish with it, this goes in the bin. The only stuff from this, when I bought it, that went in the bin, was the envelope it arrived in. And the dirty water that goes down the drain when it's in the washing machine, which don't go in the bin. It goes into storage and it gets cleaned and reused. So, please ladies, those of you who like using pads, explore your options with disposables, because there are so many more benefits. There are actually ladies who have reported that having really heavy periods, who after switching from a disposable pad had lighter periods, they didn't bleed as heavy obviously, and the cramping and pain reduced dramatically. So people who have polycystic ovaries, for example, really enjoy using these as opposed to these. We don't like them. So, also one last thing to add with reusable pads. This is pretty, but you can have Spider-Man, and you can have green eggs and ham. They're from a company called Feminine Wear. You can find them online. They're really cheap. You can buy them in starter packs, or you can buy them as one-off pads. So you've got Feminine Wear and Cheeky Mama, and they're cool. They're lovely. They're soft. You can also get different sizes as well. You can get liners for in-between days or lighter days, and you can get big, heavy overnight ones, which are also suitable for after you have a baby and you're in hospital or you're at home for the first few days and you're passing lochia, which is really heavy blood. They're also one thing, they're really thin as well. They're not bulky. It's not like wearing a nappy. First time I ever touched one of these, I was so surprised by how thin it was. I thought, because I was making my own previously to buy them, and mine were bulky, and these are really thin. You can't even tell you're wearing them, basically. It's just like wearing an extra layer in your knickers. So let's talk about the Moon Cup. The Moon Cup is a lovely little invention by women, and it comes in 2 sizes. You've got a size for ladies who are under 30 and have never given birth vaginally, and you've got a size for ladies who are over 30 and have given birth vaginally. There's 2 slightly different sizes to them. It's not massive, as you can see. But make sure you get the right size for comfort and for a good fit as well. So they do look quite large compared to a tampon, but they feel exactly the same when you're wearing one. You won't notice, like you're not meant to feel a tampon, but when I used to wear tampons I could feel them because they were dry and horrible. I can't feel a Moon Cup. These ones, the ladies at Moon Cup kindly sent to me as demo cups. So these ones haven't been trimmed. When you buy them, they have this big long stalk on the end. And when you first insert it, you trim it down, obviously out of your body. You trim it down so that the stalk isn't hanging out. So you wear a Moon Cup a lot lower in the body than you do to a tampon. A tampon sits right up high in the vagina. The Moon Cup sits further down. It's not needed higher up. And that doesn't really make a difference to how you feel it in your body. For some reason, I thought as it was lower you'd feel it more, but it doesn't. So you've got 2 ways of folding a Moon Cup. So you can simply, I don't know if you can see, fold down the inside and put it in this way. And once it's in the body, it will open up. Or you can fold it this way, put it in, and it will open up. Both really easy. It does take a little bit of practice, but then so does using a tampon for the first few times, you know. I got to grips with it straight away. I might have been a lucky person, but I really liked it instantly. You've also got, I'm not sure if the camera will be able to pick it up, you've got measuring lines on the inside of the cup, which is really useful for ladies who need to monitor their flow, maybe for medical reasons or just for curiosity. The Moon Cup doesn't dry you out like a normal tampon. Regular tampons absorb anything they touch. That's how they work. They suck up everything. The medical grade silicone that's hypoallergenic obviously isn't absorbent. So the lip of the cup literally sits inside the vagina, creates a seal and catches everything. It's not drying you out, it is just catching fluid. It also can't leave fibres behind because it's not made of fibrous material. It's again really soft, really scrunchy, and doesn't make a noise, unlike this, which makes a noise. So let's have a look at, this is just a Tampax compact, I believe. So what goes in the bin? This goes in the bin. The plastic applicator, which you pop out, pop in, that goes in the bin. This goes in the bin with the string, the cotton, everything. On Sunday, I had the unfortunate task of helping someone unblock a drain at the back of their house. It was a really old drainage system, over 150 years old. It wasn't working great, and while my friend was flushing the feces away, I was in the task of catching whatever it was that was blocking the drain with a big long stick and loads of these past me. They're not meant to go down the toilet. They say they can, but they're not meant to be. It's not good for the planet. It's not good for our drains. Put them in the bin if you're going to use them. But don't use them because they're not nice. So that also goes in the bin or down the drain. 3 things. 1, 2, 3. Technically 4 because this bit comes out, which I can't do now because it's been locked. But that's a lot of plastic. And also, I don't know if many ladies have noticed this before. This is really sharp. That scratches when that goes inside of you. That scratches and can cause little lesions, can cause irritation. Not nice. This feels dry as well. This feels really dry and horrible. There have been reports of the string breaking, but I've never been able to break one, not with a lot of force. Oh, there we go. Ha! The string has come off. So, please don't lose your tampon inside of you. Not nice. The moon cup. That ain't coming off. That's pretty tough. You can't lose this inside of you. To be fair, you can't lose a tampon inside of you. It's got nowhere to go. But slightly less chance of losing this inside of you. It's bigger, but it's just as comfortable, and you've got something to grip that ain't gonna ping off or rip off. What else can I say about the moon cup? It's stored in a lovely little bag that you get when you buy it. It has to be stored in something that's breathable. If you store it in a plastic tub, it might go a bit gammy and it might smell a bit nasty. And you're ruining your cup. It'll go funky and you'll need to bin it. To clean it, during use, you just simply take it out. You have to break the seal when you take it out by just pushing one side, and it will go, but not loud. You can't hardly hear it. And then you wiggle it out. Pour your contents away, or if you're funky, keep it. Pour it on your tomatoes, your carrots. In the garden, not in the kitchen, because that's not good. And wipe it with a piece of tissue or rinse it in the sink. That makes it clean enough to then put back in again. So, in between periods, people boil them. You can boil them just for a couple of minutes to sterilise them, or put them in baby sterilising fluid such as Milton or such, and follow the instructions on there. I think that's recommended. You have to, it's all explained in the little booklet that comes with it. I tend to boil. It's easier. I just don't tell my husband what pan I've used when I cook him dinner. So they're the moon cups, 2 different sizes. Let's talk a little about pricing. Do some maths. I'm not very good at maths, but let's do some anyway. So according to the Moon Cup company, a lady uses 11,000 tampons in her life. Or pads in her life, in her menstruating life. Going by Tampax Compact, there are 20 tampons to a box. 1 box or 2 boxes per period. Let's call it 1 box for now, if you're mixing pads and tampons, which you should do. It's £2.70 according to Ocado, currently, for a box of 20 tampons. You will need 550 boxes through your menstruating life. That is £1,485 of your money being given to these companies who want to put bleach inside your fanny and who want to pay the big top cats. And let's not forget that tampon tax that's going around at the moment, because everyone's quite, up in arms about that. Apparently tampons are a luxury. Pads are a luxury. I used to disagree with that, but these are more luxurious. These feel more luxurious. And these feel more luxurious. But tampons don't feel luxurious and they're still being taxed, so make your own decisions there. Now, a Moon Cup varies in prices. At the moment, in Boots, they're just over £20, £21.99, something like this. You can get them cheaper from various other sellers. Moon Times, they sell them. I think they might be cheaper than 20 quid as well. I'm not entirely sure. I've not checked on prices. One of these, with daily use, will last you 10 years. £20 for 10 years. I didn't do the maths on a box of tampons lasting 10 years, or how much you'd have to pay for tampons lasting 10 years. It's a big saving. It's a lot of money that you're not going to be spending each month. So when it comes to your period, and you have to find £2.70 on the morning of your period, and you have to go through your purse and go, shit, I haven't got any, and you send your husband off to the shop to go buy some, don't worry, you're never going to be without. It's completely always in your drawer. You can always grab it. It's also great for people who travel as well, because travelling, it takes up no space. You don't have to buy boxes and boxes of tampons or pads. It's always going to be in your bag. Camping and such like that as well. You can also use a moon cup completely when you're swimming, when you're doing sports. It's not going to fall out. It's not going to pour out all down your leg in the squash court. You're fine with it. It's going to stay there where it is. It's quite suctiony. I can't do it with this one. This one's got a hole in it for demo purposes, but it's not going to fall out. What else can I talk to you about? Yes, the chemicals found in disposable pads and tampons. So as I mentioned earlier, there was artificial colours in there. There's little gel crystals that absorb the fluid in a pad. I don't know if you've ever poured water on, I don't know if I've got a bottle of water up here, let me have a look. If you've ever poured water on a disposable, I haven't. If you pour water on a disposable pad, sorry, my camera's just fallen, it fills up with these little crystals that turn to like jelly. So if you cut the pad open, the jelly will pour out everywhere. It's not nice. Disposable, reusable pads have obviously not got that in them. They are just cotton. So, like I mentioned, the fibres being left behind from a tampon. When you pull a tampon out, the fibres can be left inside your vagina, causing irritation. Using reusable pads and tampons, pads and moon cups can eliminate your risk of toxic shock syndrome, which is only found with tampon use, especially ladies who use a stronger absorbency than what they're needing, because it dries you out more. It causes infection. One final thing on the poisons of a tampon and a pad. There is something inside, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, propylene glycol. Any chemists out there, please correct me. Which is really famously linked to cancer. It's linked to hormone disruptions. It's linked to birth defects. It's linked to vaginal dryness. It's linked to infertility, which is something that I wouldn't want putting in my body several times a year, every 4 weeks, if you're me. That's a really scary thought when this moon cup is medical grade silicone. It's not going to leach anything into your body, and these aren't going to leach anything into your body. I think that's probably about it now for my little lowdown on cups and pads. I might do some more videos on other alternatives, such as the sea sponge, which is just a sea sponge that you stick in your fanny. You wet it, it goes really soft, like what you're washing in the bath. And you scrunch it all up and you stick it up there, and it works exactly the same as a tampon. Obviously it's absorbent, so it does take fluid away from you, but it doesn't dry you out because it's wet when it goes in, unlike a normal tampon. But I'll cover this more. I'll put some links up in the description in the blog, in YouTube. Do check out my other blog posts on money saving, on health, and on reusable products on my actual blog, which is www.thenewhousefamily.co.uk. And I'll catch you all soon. Thank you. Bye.